Hi, I'm back in Hamburg and today we have discovered something very special. It's called greeters, and if you don't know what greeters is, I'm going to let Gordon explain to you.
We're part of an international group of voluntary clubs represented in many cities worldwide. Hamburg is a very popular city with number 5 on the world ranking list in terms of the number of visitors, but we provide a service of guides and we do what we do voluntarily. We take no money, we don't take a tip, and we do it because we love doing it and we love the cities where we do it, and it's as simple as that. So here I am, the man who's become rich, and this is the man
Who works for me.
who helped me.
Yeah.
That's my theory. Let's go down here because it's interesting to see it from the other side. The original house here was destroyed in the fire in 1842. Every building is built on wooden piles driven into the ground. And in Hamburg, a canal is called a Fleet. The court building, and next to it, the prison.
Oh.
All here in one go. And that was blown up to make the fire break. Over there, that's mine. And he's looking in that direction and he's saying, and outside your city, that's mine. So here you have the church as it was. And as it was then traditional, they had little shops or little businesses around the base of the church in those days. After the fire, it looked like that. Here's the church as it was, with a market. And you can see, even then, this is in 1904, how dirty it was. The stonework everywhere, because of course everybody burnt coal. And you can see that it's still blackened by the flames in the war. They've done nothing except restore it to make it safe. 2 concert halls. The big one with 2,100 seats. You've got a little one with about 575 seats. You've got a hotel on the left. They totally gutted the old storage facility. In there now is a multi-storey car park.
So is it a time allocation on the ticket?
Yeah.
Oh.
So what we do is go through here. So we've got the longest moving staircase in Europe, I think. I believe I'm right in saying it's 74 metres. It starts off steep, to gradually become flatter.
Oh, yeah. I came up here.
A lot of people are quite frightened because they don't see the glass.
No, I didn't see the glass. It's like one of those infinity pools, isn't it?
That's right. You've got the big hall here and the small hall there. When you hear music, it goes into these curved passages
that's it. Yeah.
And they've tried to recreate it. This is the harbour city. And this is going to add something like 30% to the area of the city of Hamburg. It's basically less than a kilometre away from the city centre, where the cranes are in the middle.
Yeah.
They're building a huge new shopping complex.
Well, at home it's mainly now restaurants and not really shops. We've made many Hamburg guide films on Doris Visits. You must watch the one on the Christmas market. But we've never had a one-to-one guide like this. The one thing we've never seen was the Reaper barn where the Beatles played. It starts by the dancing towers over there on the left. Gordon knew about many interesting things along the way.
The tube line in Hamburg, which is actually more overground than underground. This has been here since about 1912, 1913. If you look at, can you see on the right there, the little house with the red roof?
Yeah.
The little house with the red roof underneath the viaduct is actually built in 1904, but it was built for a visit from the German Kaiser. Underneath here runs the main Hamburg sewer.
Yeah.
And underneath that little house is his changing room. And the sewer is so big that he was given a little tour on a rowing boat under there. He said, the sewer is so wonderful that the smell hardly offends my nose. Zombeck shelter. The idea of the roof, pointed roof, with about a metre of concrete underneath it, was that if a bomb landed on there, it would likely bounce off. Now, we've got a Portuguese restaurant in there. Café Käse, it was where people used to go dancing, but it was ladies' choice. And on every table was a telephone.
Right.
And the ladies used to
Give them a
telephone,
call.
and the tradition was that if you received a call, you couldn't refuse the dance. In the 1900s, as a beer garden behind there, and it gradually developed into a theatre.
Oh, it's a theatre now?
Yeah, ehemals Ernst Drucker Theater, formerly the Ernst Drucker Theatre.
Right.
And the Nazi then noticed that he was Jewish, and they had to come up with another name for the theatre, and they called it the St. Pauli Theatre. The David Wache, you can see on the wall over there, the David Wache.
Right.
It's one of the few, I think it may be the only police station in Germany that's allowed to have the name of the street where it was once. It's the smallest police district in Germany, but it has one of the largest number of police because
and is that because of this area?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's have a look at the Herbertstrasse.
Men under 18 and women prohibited. And if women went through, there was quite a nasty reception from the prostitutes because they thought you were there on their patch.
To take their trade.
Yeah, and quite honestly, the women are usually on display in the shop windows.
Right, like in Amsterdam.
And I have to say, it's a question of taste.
We're on the Reeperbahn, and if you come in search of the Beatles, then this is it. So I'd encourage you to watch our film on Doris Visits on Liverpool and the Beatles Museum, or is this it?
There is the square here with the Beatles, but if we go down this road here, the Große Freiheit, the Big Freedom, we have on our left where the Star Club was, which is where they played very regularly and became great hits with the young girls here in Hamburg. And then further down on the right, the Indra Club, which is a bit smaller, and that's where they really started first of all.
Great.
So let's go this way.
Yeah, let's go and have a look. This is where the Star Club was. A plaque here.
So here, 17th of August 1960, the Beatles were on the stage here at the Indra Club, and it was their first engagement in Germany and the beginning of a great career.
Touch the wall. Gordon, what's that statue over there?
That's the statue of Bismarck, who was the man who basically decided that he wanted to see Germany unified in the 1870s. So today, if you say Hummel, Hummel in Hamburg, you will always get the reply, Morse, Morse, and he carried water. This is bucket, because remember the water...
And his cat.
Yeah, the water was... You couldn't drink it safely, and so he carried water through the streets and sold water, which he got from a well. The Museum of Hamburg stands on the line of what would have been the wall.
So that's the Museum of Hamburg?
Yeah, that stands on wood.
Yeah.
And this is part of the moat.
But come and have a look in here. They've recreated how it was.
Here's your city wall.
Right.
And these are the kind of streets. If you think back to where the warehouse city is.
Yeah, by the river, yeah.
What they demolished to build the warehouse city also looked
like
this,
that.
Okay? With that.
So how long ago was that?
They destroyed a lot of these narrow streets at the end of the 19th, beginning of the 20th century, because in 1892 we had the cholera epidemic, which would have been fostered in streets like that. But also in certain parts of Hamburg they were worried about the growth of trade unions and leaning towards communism, and it was a good excuse to demolish these houses. But if we look here, they're quite modern inside. It's a copy of a rebuilding of stuff that would have been around.
But is it only the outside that's a copy of, and then inside,
inside is
good to live in?
Yeah. This is called the Composers' Quarter.
Oh, right. Yeah, I see the composers.
Brahms was born in Hamburg. He was a director of music in the church. Telemann, Bach played the organ. Mendelssohn and his wife. And in the museum here is, I think, the piano that Mendelssohn has played on.
Oh, wow.
And there was a market here, the Judenbörse, the Jews' stock exchange, where they used to have their stalls and sell things and whatever. But the Nazis used to make fun of the Jews. And there are various parts in Hamburg where there is a nickname still that's left over from the Nazi time.
You'd think they'd have got rid of all that, wouldn't you?
I think it's important to remember it. Deported 1943 to Theresienstadt and then killed, murdered.
Oh my God.
Here deported to Riga and murdered, and there deported to Riga and murdered.
They lived here?
Yeah. This was an area where Jews were gathered for deportation. It was a parade ground for soldiers in the 18th century. There was also stocks here where soldiers were put in the stocks and punished.
Really?
Yeah. The advertising column over there, you wouldn't believe it, that is a listed building. They can't knock that down.
Oh.
The red brick building is one of the 3 foundations for Jewish people that were here.
Gosh, yeah.
They've got one of the old original street lamps from Hamburg here. Over there is a chemist shop from the 17th century.
Right.
What they've done is preserved it. It's called the Pelican chemist shop, and up on the wall, above the first line of windows, there's actually a pelican with its babies up there. But they still keep the interior, and this is to represent the firestorm in the war. Coming up stairs out of their basement, looking for water. It's 1750, 60. They erected here a temporary wooden bell tower, and the bells from St Michael were here on the square.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The Cotton Club's a jazz cellar down there, but you have to be here at night.
One Jew was thrown down the stairs and died. We also know that a homosexual was basically tortured to death here.
By the Nazis?
Yeah, by the Gestapo. And eventually the pressure on the developers was such that in the basement they had to create a museum. This goes back to 1727, and this was the town hall under French occupation. Napoleon's troops were here. All the documents, birth certificates, death certificates, and everything was in French. And the mosaic and the tiles.
Wow.
You're looking at sort of 1907.
Right. And it's just an office block?
Yep.
Amazing.
Now, the last thing I'm going to show you, I love showing this, was originally more or less what we call today a kind of a Boots or a drugstore.
Oh, that reminds me of those French, Bière de la Meuse posters.
But this was all through one shop. Now it's been divided up into these boutique type shops. Rather young, lovely blonde, who's just given birth to a child, up there. But she's got a bottle of some sort of cream or perfume or whatever. Time goes by, our lady is still rather beautiful.
Yeah.
With her potion or some sort of bottle of rose surrounded by roses, so sweet smelling, beautiful.
Yeah.
Then it goes further. She's beginning to look a bit...
aging slightly.
The flowers are beginning to wilt. And not quite look so beautiful. And here at the end, with a rather sad look on her face, she's got an hourglass in one hand, which represents the passage of time. And she also has the crow, which represents death. But she still has her Mellin's bottle with her.
She doesn't look bad. I think she's done quite well.
We got our advertising from our young, beautiful girl who gradually reaches
the perfumes,
the stages where...
As you research greeters around the world, remember you discovered it first on Doris Visits. And tell others of our many Doris Visits port guides. Once again, many thanks to Hamburg Gordon.